Hello, it's me, Annalisa. Hang on, this is going to drive you crazy, but I don't know if it's dirty. It just looks off to me, and it could be because I let my daughter watch my computer. Anyway, start over. Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's currently daylight savings. Soon it will be not. I am not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, or a financial advisor. If you need one of those, please seek them. I'm like sprinting to get in to do this tonight. We were at the Bronx Zoo all day. We got home, had to quick eat dinner and get the kids to bed. So that's that. I got to do the reading for the winner, Emily, who won last month's draw for the people who are subscribed to my email list. I draw every month for a free 30-minute reading, and a really cool new thing happened. I was talking to her, and she had introduced me to her daughter at the very beginning, but all I could see is like, hear up. And the little girl was off in the background, and you couldn't really see her or anything. You could just hear something, and then her daughter had said something to her, and I heard a man's voice, and like in her house, not, like coming through the computer. And hello, everybody. I was like, "Oh, is your husband home?" And she said, "No." And I said, "I just heard a man's voice." She said, "There's a man singing in the background." I was like, "No, this was a man talking." And then all this information started coming through about a loved one that had crossed over. And that is the first time I've ever heard spirit like in somebody else's home. It was actually really cool. So, if you're building your own intuition, connecting in with your own claircognizance to clear knowing, clairvoyance, clear seeing, clairaudience, clear hearing, clairaugustance, clear tasting, clairalience, clear smelling, any of your clairs, clairsentience or sentience, some people it's said either way. That's clear feeling, that can be emotional and or physical. If you're connecting in with those, it never stops growing the way that you start getting information unless you put a kibosh on it, unless you say, this is it, this is the only way I get things. So just keep that in mind when you're however you limit things is how your intuition and your abilities are limited. Thank you, Emily. It was a really cool experience. That was neat for me. So I've got a list going tonight. We'll start with Devry, Maria, and Patricia. Oh, this is another really funny thing. So my husband leans towards being a little bit more of an Eeyore energy, which is like, like all the world is negative, everything's terrible, something terrible is going to happen. It's going to happen to me. And I always think, you're manifesting it. Anyway, so I we were talking about Trump and Biden. He's like, oh, I just have these nightmares that Trump's still president. So I went to the card reading and I was like, all right, who's going to get it, Trump or Biden? And out flips this card. And at first I was like, is that Trump because of the money, right? But just wait. This is the King of Pentacles. I do it more not based on like what it's called, but like the picture, except for this other one. So then I was like, all right, who's Trump? And out flew the Fool card. So I was like, all right, this is Biden. And if you know Biden has a dog that's similar to this. This looks more wolfy than his dog, but Biden has a dog similar to that. So I thought, okay. And I've done a reading before that came up, and this was Biden. I just forgot because, well, whatever. And so I thought it was funny, the Fool, even though this is prettier than, although little yellow, kind of like his hair, fake color that it is. I still can't believe he spent so much money on hair. It's just mind-boggling to me. All right, I'll put those away. Let's get started. Miss Devry had the sweetest note on her. So thank you so much, Devry. I felt like it was a little blessing over me. She said, for a very good and spiritual person. I thought that was very sweet. Hello, Cindy, the golden butterfly. Who are you? The golden butterfly. Who are you? What's your hang on just a second. Let me look here because I've got a couple more people here since I started. Itchy nose. So at the zoo today, the kids like dressed up and they had one little area where they could go trick or treating. Let's see. Thank you, Dan. I'm still going to give you a shout out. I need to link you. So Dan McCluskey has his channel on here if y'all want to check it out. Okay. All right, I got it. So so add Regine, oh sorry, add the golden butterfly. Sorry, I'm like looking back and forth, and Mallory to the list. Are you sure you don't, Dan, if you end up having a question, just go ahead and jump on in. That's totally cool because you did pay. So Dan, in the comments, put your YouTube channel. Y'all should really check it out. I really do think it's going to go somewhere. Spiritually Out of the Closet. It's OTC, Spiritually OTC. Mallory. Okay. Just look for it. And he's just got such great energy. He's so happy. He feels like, well, if you were into Christianity, I feel like he'd be like a youth minister, just like, like when I don't know if you went to like a non-denominational Christian church and you ever did any of like when you were younger and you ever did any of the youth stuff, like there was just a certain vibe that youth ministers have. So you're welcome. And that does not meant in a bad way, like not a weird, creepy vibe, but just like this like energy that he has. So it's nice. And he's like, I feel like going to open up some people to their own abilities that, again, it's just another niche, another area where people would feel comfortable to go. Another person I think you guys should really check out is Georgia Morantos, and I'll link hers on the bottom here when I get done or when it finally loads, because once these loads, she's a really fantastic tarot reader. She's one of my friends, and she does really lovely readings, and she does them in a way that's and she takes her time with you, and she also donates 30% of her proceeds to charity. She and will take her time to like teach the tarot to you and other things. So she's just a really great person. So, all right. So Devry, your question, you're up. So Devry, Maria, Patricia, if any of you want to. What are you on the fence about, Laura? Devry posted. Oh, there you are. Okay. Will I be moving myself or with other people when our lease is up? Because I love being alone. Oh, will you be moving alone? I heard alone initially. So it feels like maybe the first year you're by yourself, and then either you get a roommate or a roommate. So it does feel like alone initially. And that is like really good for you. I feel like it'll help you actually grow in your own spiritual path and your own spiritual journey. Is your right knee bothering you right now? Because I'm rubbing mine like I do when there's some, like I go like this. So I don't know if that's, yeah. Is it slightly swollen? It feels slightly swollen, and it feels like, hi, LaFloyd. I feel like maybe, I feel like this actually might be like a tendonitis because it feels like it's like kind of wrapping around the back of my knee too. Normally I would say ice it with if it's being swollen, but I keep being drawn to like putting a little heating pad on it that it might help with it and maybe elevate it a little bit. If it's really bothering you, go get it checked out. But that's just, I feel like it might be a little bit of tendonitis that you might need to kind of rest it a little bit more. Might behoove you to go get it checked out. Oh, good. I hope that you like them. He does get straight to the point. He's not, Nicole Plant is talking about, Joseph Ally. I always say it wrong. It's Ally spelled ALAI. And, he does a lot of really great stuff with talking about manifestation and like the easiest way to manifest and the way that you should be doing the thought processes and stuff. So, um, Patricia, what's the timing when I should be purchasing a condo or townhome? Um, so this is, I like immediately when I saw March, but then I heard now. So I feel like now is the time to start, kind of like getting stuff settled, maybe starting to, so that you're pre authorized, whatever, for your loan, for your mortgage, pre-qualified. That's what I want, pre-qualified. Um, now, but I feel like you won't purchase until March. So it's either that, and I actually feel like you might end up purchasing like a foreclosure, or short sale, but it feels like somehow you're getting a deal on it. Um, and I also want to say they said don't feel bad about it because I know that sometimes when we're, um, it feels like it'll be okay. Just don't have guilt around doing something for yourself. You're not, I don't want to say like taking from somebody's misfortune. Um, it feels like this is really weird, but it feels like it'll end up helping them out in the end. Is your lower abdomen bothering you? Or are you either tight from working out or it just felt really tight there now? Okay, good. Hang on, Sandra, I'll call on you because I am doing it a little bit different. What's yes, no? Hmm? Oh, not working out, but your lower abdomen's bothering you. I heard this too shall pass. So this, I feel like this will be gone quickly. Like by the end of the evening, your stomach won't be bothering you anymore. Nerves. Okay. That that universe. I don't feel like you're going to be fully retired though. I feel like you're still going to do something for yourself on the side. Okay, Kate, I'll check in just a minute. I feel like you're still going to be doing something on the side. So it feels like, but something I enjoy and I love. Not about like it doesn't feel now, maybe in 6 months down the road, and it feels like something that's just fun for me. So maybe I work in a little bookstore, or I have a little Etsy shop, something like that. It's just really, it's not because I need the money. It's just something to kind of occupy my time and make a little money too. Um, okay. And it feels like I feel like there's a lot of sunshine wherever I am. There's a lot of like I feel like I'm indoors, but I feel like there's a lot of the energy feels really nice and light, and there's a lot of natural sunlight in it too. So like big windows kind of thing. And the colors are lighter. That's not real heavy colors. So I still need uh, Maria, and then I have Dulcie, and then Sandra. You can leave yours all. You're welcome, Patricia. So Maria, if you're here, and Dulcie, and Sandra, you've got yours. So I'll go ahead and answer yours. You said, can I please tell you how John feels about our recent breakup? Sandra, I'm wondering if he's been drinking a lot or leaning towards an alternative coping mechanism. So I don't know if he smokes pot or something. The reason why I ask that or say that is because I feel very dizzy and ungrounded and disoriented, sort of like not, And not disoriented in the sense of like I have, it like feels like I've been drinking a lot. Um, ugh. Um, not yeah, so like not disoriented in the sense of like I have dementia or Alzheimer's and I can't relate. Like it just feels like that not quite right feeling. And I feel also very wishy-washy, like, I go back and forth. I go from being really, really sad and missing you to, like, being like, "Wah, wah, wah, wah," like the bitter old angry man. Not that he's necessarily a bitter old angry man, but it just feels like, whatever. Grumpy McGrumpster. Um, Look, I've told you this before that I think you're better off without him. It's just I think the whole draw to him is you do have a connection there, but it's also that, like, being that feeling of being alone or being rejected, and I do believe you care about him, but it's a really codependent relationship. Like, it feels very like it's gotten heavier since the last time we sort of talked about it, which has been a while. All but his money. Is there any way he was drinking it? Is there any reason that he would feel off or dizzy? Um, Look, it may be something that you have to validate, like, through talking to him at some point, because I don't feel like all communications are lost and gone at this point. Oh, Queenie. I was like, I knew there was something. Okay. Um, so Queenie, you can put your question in. Oh, there you go. I got yours. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like he has like some mental health issues, but there's something about the dizziness that might make sense. Um, and in the sense that I say like, and not like a bad thing, but like he feels emotionally very young to me, right? So it feels like some sort of having emotional trauma, like when you're younger, that creates this when you refuse to heal it and look at it and like figure out like this isn't working, this isn't healthy in my relationship. So what do I need to do to like fix this? And how am I contributing instead of like I feel like he thinks about how the other person's the problem, right? I don't feel like he really looks at how he's the issue or like he's the common denominator in like the issues in his relationships. And I just feel like this stuff that happened when he was a kid, like the way the family he was raised in, has created like some mental health issues. And it doesn't feel like totally like, ooh, crazy, right? The mental health stuff is just symptoms of the earlier stuff. And it just feels like it created stuff. And I don't know, the dizziness, I just feel like there's something not right. So maybe he's taking something for allergies. I don't know what it is, but I just felt very dizzy. You can pay Maureen. Um, I'd love to say I think you're totally done with him, but I don't think you're totally done with him yet. I heard one more go around. So, and then I feel like you're done with him. Um, It's funny because it feels like I'm like, "Oh, we talked about a long time ago," because I felt like it's that talk sorry, we talked about a long time ago, and I mentioned, like, seeing an engagement ring, and you said he actually had one, and that the situation was much more complicated than that, but it feels like romantically in his head, he wants to be married, but then, like you said, the money, he doesn't wanna be married. Listen, you knew what you were getting into when you picked this man. Um I feel like he might have some health stuff going on for him too. Mild, but I just feel like as I keep getting pulled to my face, like maybe he's got some allergy issues or something. Chatterbox, you're not late. Um, I don't know. I don't think you're done with him. It's not so much I wish I could say like this is how he feels, but I don't feel like he's really thinking about you. I think he's like really thinking about him. I'm really sad. Oh, I'm gonna be really crabby and angry and bitter about this conversation we had or how she is and like trying to fall out in all the negatives, even though like that's not really the issue. It's like just him kind of being about himself and his stuff right now. But I mean, I think he still loves you. I think he's just in his own head. Um, all right, Queenie wants to know. Queenie, can you give me the name of your children? You're welcome, Sandra. Sandra, if you want to think about another question, you can since you paid for two. Queenie, can you just give me the name of your kids? I'm going to look up and see who else is paid for PayPal. Oh, K. We'll add K to the list. Cheryl and Maureen. Maureen, are you? I think Maureen is Hey Hey, right? Am I wrong? Dina, Miranda, and Ronaldo. I heard Ronaldo for sure. I think it might be the order of Ronaldo and then Dina. I'm not being drawn to Miranda as much. But Ronaldo feels like it's either going to be the first, but it just feels like, yeah, for him for sure. Marlon, oh, there you are, Marlon. You'll be added to the list. Marlon, can you throw Marlon in right before K? I just missed yours. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, hang on, Cheryl. So we're going to go by the list, okay? Marlon paid for 2 questions. Okay. And then I want to go ahead and close the list and be done unless Chatterbox hurries up and because Chatterbox asked if they were late. So then we have, let's see, we did Sandra. Dulcie B, that was just you now, right? No, that was Queenie. That was Maria. Okay. So I think Ronaldo will. And it might even be that with Ronaldo, I feel like 2 for him with Deanna. I think I said Dina, but it looks like it's Deanna, but I'm like reading it again. Highway 138, are you, Maureen? Okay, so let's look at Dulcie B, Tracy, and Cindy. Oh, that's okay, Chatterbox. No problem. Thanks for recommending me to whatever channel you did. So Dulcie B, Tracy, and Cindy. And then after Cindy will be, if you'll get ready, doesn't mean do it yet, but Laura, Starry Sky, and Allie would be after that. Posted above, Dulcie B. Okay, let me find you. Oh, there you go. I had, oh wait, Dulcie, I just answered. Did I just answer yours about your grandchildren? I did. There we go. Wait, I'm so confused. Queenie. Y'all. Okay, wait. Scratch that, Queenie. Okay, wait. Sorry, I need sleep. Okay, wait. Okay. Queenie, tell me your question and just type it here real quick. Type me your question. You wanted to know about your 3 grandchildren coming, and then type me the names of your children. That you said. Wait. Queenie is Maria. Okay. But Dulcie B asked the question about the grandchildren. So I got the questions mixed up. So I'm talking, okay, wait, forgive me. Dulcie. Dulcie B, type me the names of or tell me the names of your children. And then Queenie, I think, what was your question, Queenie? What did you want to know? Because I can't now, like, as I read Dulcie's, but I got you guys mixed up. Please forgive me. I'm crazy tired. I had a headache most of the day from trying to avoid all the zoo food and just trying to eat healthy, and I didn't have enough calories. And so I quick shoveled food in my gullet when I got home, as my grandmother would have said. Just guidance. Okay, Queenie. All right. And Dulcie, put the names of your children. Okay. David, Joseph, Tracy, and Sean. Whew. Okay. Well, Queenie, I think Ronaldo's going to have babies. Not anytime soon. I feel like Tracy would be the next one to have one. And then Sean. And that's all I'm getting. So I don't know if it's that do twins run in your family? It's either twins or like back to back. Because there's something about like 2 close together. Sorry, popping my knuckles. It may be that even the grandbabies come in, like maybe they both end up where the timing of the 2 grandbabies come in very close together. That could be it too, because it feels like back to back. And I also feel like healthy. So if there's a worry around like that something comes up weird, it feels like all is okay. Everybody's healthy. And I don't know if that's it may be that they worry that something's wrong and they're kind of watching it closer, or that it could be something, but everything is going to be healthy is the way I really feel like it needs to be looked at. Okay. Queenie general reading. Have you been extra hard on yourself lately? It's like this, and they were like saying it's the inner dialogue, and I literally just feel like, who do you think you are? And da, 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 da. Like it's like you feel like you get maybe too confident or too, and so then like you start to like, and in the sense that, sorry, let me find some English here. If you become too overly confident, right? You feel like I'm doing so good, everything's going so great, and then say something happens, and maybe I find out I was wrong, or I kind of was off on something, and then my inner dialogue is like, "Who do you think you are? Why were you thinking you were so great?" Blah blah blah. Like maybe you made a mistake at work and something came up, but it just feels like relax on that, be a little kinder and gentler, and you can be doing really 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 great on your healing or your growth, your intuition growth, and make a mistake, but the reality is we learn through our mistakes, right? So we grow through our mistakes, so sometimes it's okay to welcome them and say like, wow, this is cool, like I have an opportunity for growth here, I have an opportunity to learn, I have an opportunity to see, like when we have triggers, right? And we have things that where in our past would have been like really kind of like we would have spent a lot of time ruminating on it or having issues on it. Well, we think that we're doing really, really great, and say then somebody interacts with us in a way that like maybe makes us lose our temper. Well, you didn't yell for 25 minutes, you yelled for like 3 seconds. Like whatever it is, like don't get mad that you actually still yelled. Be proud of yourself that you weren't at the point that you used to be. So it's just sort of like talking about being gentler with yourself through the process. Does that make sense, Queenie? Oh, Tracy, Cindy, and Laura, you guys are up. From Logan. The first thing I feel about Logan, and like this is just, I just want to like connect in with this. So let me know if this makes any sense. I felt very like tight in my throat, almost like I couldn't breathe in my throat. Like everything was swelling up. So this could mean to me, I'm being drawn to saying suicide, and I feel bad if I say that. I don't want to be wrong about that, but it's like not being able to breathe, not being able to breathe. So it's either suicide, or you could say, I would go with, I keep being pulled to that. Or I would say like anaphylaxis. But I keep being pulled towards not being able to breathe. Suicide. Okay. I know the song has been on forever, like a lot lately, but that Fleetwood Mac song Dreams, the very first line is, so here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Um, I keep, oh, sucks. Um, there's a lot of mental stuff going on. So it's like a lot of repetition in my head. And it's that feeling of he had a lot of this like stuff going on in his head of like lots of stuff repeating and repeating and repeating, and maybe wanting a break from the stuff going on in his head and the rapid, rapid, rapid over and over and over. It's like repetitive thoughts, repetitive thoughts, repetitive thoughts. and just wanting a break from it, wanting to be done with it and not have this feeling like it's never going to be fixed, it's never going to be healed, it's never going to go away. I feel like he did try to get help for it. I feel like I was trying medications, they weren't working, wasn't fixing what felt like was wrong in my head. Like, I felt him rocking like this, like, almost like a child, like, just it just won't stop, it won't go away. This is the thing is I feel like this was him in his own world, like, or in his own quiet moments, that this would not have been the him he shared with you or the rest of his friends. It feels like, very, very smart young man, very, like funny in a kind of, like, dark way, and I mean, very smart and very quick-witted. You're welcome, Queenie. Um, the first thing he just really wants you to know he's okay, he's working on healing and working on fixing this, and you didn't miss anything, okay? So you couldn't have stopped him, there's not anyone that could have stopped him or done anything else. Do you get the shivers around him? Because I just got this, like, cold, like, feeling that runs through me, and I don't usually get that with spirit. Um, but it's like this, like, ugh, ugh. Um, I feel like this is gonna sound weird, but I feel like he messes with your hair somehow. Like, he might make you feel like something's pulling on your hair or kinda whatever, or tapping on, it doesn't feel like a tap, it feels like messing with your hair. Okay. So know that that's not you making that up, and know that that's not you, like, going crazy. He's just around you. He's sort of trying to cheer you up, and I feel like he always did this in life too, was trying to always cheer you up and make you feel better. He was really an empathetic person. You know, most of the people who end up taking their own lives, um, it's just really hard to be in this human world. And it isn't that they're weak, it's just they're so incredibly sensitive, um, to what others feel that they just it's just overwhelming. Does the name Max make any sense? He says he's okay and he's with you, and he made me feel like he'll kiss you, like, right here. And he said you meant the world to him. Okay, well, Max is with him. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with that because I can go on when it comes to mediumship, so I have to sort of kinda cut it short. But I'm glad that he came through so clearly. Ugh, can we stop doing the chills? Sorry. Um, um, I'm glad he came through, and so clearly that speaks volumes to where his soul is at too and how he's doing because, um, it even if he ended up taking his own life, he really did believe in something bigger or something more spiritual, because they're not when they go to the other side, they're not able whether however they die, if they aren't really at all kinda spiritual, it takes them a while to communicate as clearly as he did. You're welcome, Tracy. Alright. Okay, Cindy wrote, "What's a good time to look for work?" I heard start looking now, um, just to put your feelers out, but I feel like it feels like nothing will really happen until at least after the beginning of the year, or I heard after the end of the year, so that would be the beginning of the year. But I feel like start putting your feelers out now, start looking now. Um, Laura wanted to know, uh, first I wanna say, no, I listen to you and always say, "Annalisa, I love you because I feel you are so real." Well, thank you. I try to be real. General reading, and if the blessed boards I have invested in will pay off. I know I'm the psychic, but what are blessed boards? Maybe I'll Google it. Um, I'm writing it down so I remember. It doesn't, again, Cindy, it doesn't feel like anything will like end up coming like, so it doesn't mean that you won't get offered a job or have interviews before then, but it feels like it doesn't start until after the end of the year is what I heard. I feel like you'll have more than one offer too. It almost, so I literally felt like it feels like they're clamoring for you. So it feels like you'll have sort of your pick and how you want things because there's such a huge need for mental health. Um, sorry, maybe you don't want people to know. For people like you. So I feel like you'll kind of have a choice. Okay, sorry. Laura wants a general reading. Bless sports. So the first thing about the blessed boards is I hear that they will, but not necessarily the way that you think, which is kind of weird, right? You think like I put the money in, I should get this money back with a whatever. It just feels like it'll lead to more lucrative or more divine opportunities, so to speak. Um, but the really interesting is that they said you need to like, it looks like you're going out to a lot of other people and including myself, right? So and really what they're saying is to go within because you know the answers and you have all of the information. You just need to trust what you're getting. Um, it feels like you go outside of yourself looking for validation a lot. Not, I mean, I know I just said me, but it's in a different way. It feels like if you're making the right choice, if you're doing the right thing, you're looking for somebody to tell you that it's okay. I actually feel like this is like a product of growing up with the mom that you grew up with, where it's like when a child falls. There's was a habit, especially I heard it for a long time of parents that would just say, "You're fine, you're okay, you're okay." And like you'd be like, "Well, but my knee really hurts, but you're okay. Don't cry, you're okay." Because the parent couldn't handle their kid having a total shitty meltdown because they felt like crap and their knee hurt, right? Um, what that does, like over and over and over, being told one thing like, "It's cold outside, put a sweater on." You're like, "Oh, I'm not really cold." And it's like because they're cold, they're projecting their cold feelings onto you and you're like, "Yeah, but I'm not." So it's like this constant denial of what your own intuition is telling you about your own body, your own feelings, where you're like, "Oh, well, so now I don't really know. I don't should I trust what I'm feeling inside?" Because it like so it's like I know this is weird, but subconsciously it plants a lot of do should I trust what I'm getting? So it feels like you need to let go within and really trust what you're getting and the feelings that you're getting on it. You know that those boards are going to work out for you. You know that it's going to parlay and spread out into a whole other thing. So just trust that. And then learn to be patient with what you're getting. I understand this habit of doing this because I've done it myself, where I'll get something from my guides and I'll be like, did I hear that right? And so it's really, really, or from spirit or divine source or divine universe, whatever you want to call it, they are all part of that same collective energy that is greater than us. And if you learn to ask for a validation for it, did I get it correctly? They will give it to you. People investing in each other. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. It just feels like it will work out in the way that you expect it to, but just trust it. When we put anything out there, the idea of what faith is, right? If we have an idea that God or the universe is capable of anything, and then we add into that thought or sentence or idea, but, or except for this little thing that I wanted, maybe it's not possible. We take out the possibility of it, we take out the faith of it, and that doubt lends that energy into things not happening. So the blessed board will not in the way you want. So it might not be as much money as you want, then, if that's what the investment thing is, or as much as they're saying it'll work, just not in the way. And I actually feel like it ends up pushing you into this different direction where you end up investing in yourself and kind of building this other thing. Does that make sense? Sometimes I get things in a weird way. Do you do something with real estate? Because I just all of a sudden got this feeling of like real estate, either becoming a real estate agent or figuring out investing in that sense in real estate. Starry Sky, Allie, and D, you guys are up now. You're welcome, Cindy. Laura, does that make sense when I said that? Oh man, Allie, you have really smart aleck guides. Okay, yeah. Does the real estate thing make sense? I just saw you with like, and it literally felt like, I don't know, it was just a real estate sort of feeling to it. Allie, your guides are like tall, dark, and handsome. Like, but they were like saying it jokingly, like, we're not going to tell her because she's so like fixated as to what this person needs to look like, that like if I said to you like he has dark brown hair, no, there's something about real estate. So it might not make sense now. It might make sense a year down the line or a couple of years down the line. Maybe you become a real estate realtor, or you start investing in real estate or something, but there's something about real estate that's connecting to you. You're thinking of inventing and investing and renting out. That's it. That's it. So I feel like what that's going to do is push you to invest in yourself and kind of see that it's like you have the ability and the wherewithal to do that. Okay. That's my real estate connection. That's good for me. So Allie, I'm gonna move forward now. I'm sorry I kind of go back and forth, but I feel like I hate the dead space, and I'm like I'm really tired, so it's easy for me tonight to be like. So okay, Allie. So they said like tall, dark, and handsome, and then that's like all you'd focus on. But what they can tell you is that he's really, really kind and really generous with a big heart. And they said you'll know it right away. So this is one of those instances where you go on a first date and you just know, like, there will be no doubt in your mind. You'll do well in that, Laura. There may be a few renters along the way who kind of make you question it, but you'll do well in it. Allie, I feel like he'll really be a kind and good person, and you'll know right away. And if you're wondering if he'll be a cat or a dog person, he's a dog person. But he doesn't mind cats, but he prefers dogs, which is weird. But I actually think you might know him, but it's not like, so don't sit around and go, is it him? Is it him? It may be in a way where it's like, you know him in passing, or you know him just kind of like off in the distance, but I feel like you actually do have already met him. And I don't sit and like ponder, was it that guy that I like ran into 8 years ago? I don't know. They're not telling me a ton. But I heard, yes, you do know him. Sorry if you heard a big bang. That's my water. Apparently, I don't have any strength to set it down nicely. Starry Sky wants to know about her surgery, her eye surgery. Wait, I'm not doing free readings anymore. Oh, no, D like DEE, not DI. You're welcome, Allie. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. All right, just making sure. Starry Sky Hand, I'm going to answer hers first, and then I'll get to you. She asked about her recent eye surgery. So, was it your left eye? Because I just felt a lot of pressure here in my left eye, and it's that feeling of like taking longer to heal, and like longer than they expected, or longer than you thought it would. So if there's the blurriness, the way that, like, they said to me, the blurriness will go away in a month or so. Like, it'll get better, whatever this is, it'll get better. Are they giving you drops for pressure? Because I feel like 2 days is what they're saying. So I don't know if it's that you've had for 2 days or what, but it feels like 2 days it'll be better. Like, that gets better. But I feel like you're supposed to be laying back. Did you have I don't know why. It just feels like resting, like not being too active or anything. Does the blurry vision and the pressure make sense? It's very blurry. Okay. It feels like it's gonna take about a month for that. And is there a pressure issue that they're giving you drops for pressure? I was gonna say retinal detachment. Okay. So it feels like you need to be lying down more. Is that like to keep the retina on the back of the eye? So that would make sense for needing to lie down. And it feels like the pressure, if they gave you something for pressure in there, you have to lay on your right side. Okay, well, whatever it is, like feeling like I need to do that. Be patient with that. And it feels like if there's a pressure issue, like there might be a high pressure thing. It feels like that whatever meds they give, like I need 2 more days of it, and then it's like sort of subsides and gets better. You have pressure medicine because they put, okay. Did they tell you about a month for the blurriness to go away? I'm hearing my 3-year-old scream right now. Yeah, okay. It'll be about a month and it'll go away. It'll get better. Though I do feel like this is something that you're gonna have to keep an eye on because they can redetach. So just like I don't get a good feeling if it will or not, to be honest with you. But like my logic brain, not my psychic brain, my logic brain is saying, from what I know about retinal detachments, I do have family members who have had several of them. One family member in particular, um, just stay on top of it. Don't and if you don't feel right about the information you're getting, always seek a second opinion. But it will I do feel like the blurriness will clear up and subside, and, it'll get better. That sucks, man. I'm sorry you went through that, and it's like I guess the nitrous bubble is a new thing to do because the last I knew, they would do scleral buckles on them. So, um, that sucks. I'm sorry. You might have floaters for a little bit too, 2 to 6 weeks. So I feel like about a month is where you're at. You're right in the middle of there, and then it should get better. The floaters, I feel like if you have them, they're gonna go away pretty quick too. Okay. Just signed a lease for a new apartment. Will it be good for me overall? And who specifically do I see coming towards you for your next relationship? So apartment first. Um, it will be, but I heard it kind of a headache, and I don't know if it's that I keep getting drawn towards like the laundry being an issue. I don't know why. Um, it reminds me of the apartment we lived in, my husband and I lived in Hoboken, where like the washer and dryers were always broken, or like you'd have to pump a lot of quarters into them. It was like you ended up spending so much money on that. Like it would have been cheaper probably for us to just have somebody else wash our own laundry. um, it feels like something like that, and sort of like also the communication with management doesn't feel great. But I feel like the apartment itself overall feels like a nice space. Um, it does feel like I can hear my neighbors a little bit more, so it might benefit you to have like as much. I keep feeling like things on the walls to help kind of help sound, help it be quieter. But I also feel like just really being in my own space is really important, that maybe I haven't had that space for a while and I just really needed my own sanctuary. And then who specifically do I see coming towards you for your next relationship? So I'm hearing that. I hear this song sometimes too, that Marvin Gaye song. Um, Get It, I think it's Get Up to Get Down is the title of it. Um, and the words are, because you don't want me singing a cappella, I really need a backing track. um, I was too nervous when I used to go out to parties and stand around. I was too nervous to really get down, and it feels like having that really he's gonna be introverted personality, but I see this really great smile. He may not be that tall though, but I feel like he just lights up when he smiles, and I feel like he has a really good sense of humor. I don't know that he's like a billionaire, but I feel like he's like works hard, um, you know, like financially stable, has a good work ethic, is able to like save money, keep money kind of thing. Like, so it doesn't feel like I'm having to, if I was you, carry the load or carry the weight. I feel like it's a good match. And they said this to me, but you know this because you've been working on manifesting this. Like, remember, this is the other thing when we manifest, right? So if you're a single lady or a single man and you want to be with somebody who's real fit and athletic, financially sound, and what's another third thing we could say? Really clean around the house. You can't be a slob who lays on the couch all day, who's like always trying to figure out how to pay this month's bill, because that person who's really fit and financially stable and really clean isn't going to be wanting you. Number one, they're just like energetically, it's not, this is a very simple way of kind of like figuring out what it is, right? So energetically, you're not going to match. So this is sort of like how we think about when we do manifestation, right? You have to match that energy. So you also have to um, believe that it's possible, right? So you would also have to be like, if I want somebody who's these things, then I need to be these things myself, right? And it isn't because I want to catch that one. It's because if these are the things you want, you also need to be those things so that you're in alignment. So it feels like you know this, these are the things coming towards you because these are the things that you're like moving towards if you're not already there. Does that make sense? I don't feel like you know him yet, D. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to leave you with that. Good, Regine, you're up. And then Dan, if you have a question you want to, go ahead. Golden Butterfly and Mallory, you guys are up. You're welcome, D. Where are we at time-wise? 1 hour in. Okay. I want to be done soon. I'm really like, the Bronx Zoo is big. And since my husband found out he had surgery on his neck, and now he's having complications from it. So if it doesn't get better, he may have to have another surgery at the beginning of the year. So we are hoping. So he can't, I've like, don't lift anything, don't do anything. So I'm like pushing the strollers and with like all the stuff. Cause your stroller becomes like a car when you go anywhere and you like load everything up. When you don't have a stroller, you realize like, where am I going to put all of this stuff? So yeah. So I'm like or the pack mule. You decide how to name it. I am that person. Wait, no BLT. What? You're welcome, D. Wait. Okay, so Regine had her question. Sorry. I feel like I'm in a better place. Would you please tell me how my finances are looking for coming months? Being financially independent and having my own space is important. I feel like they said you will be financially independent by 2023. So I know that seems a long time, but it feels like where I'm finally able to like let go of that last bit of like feeling like it, where I'm able to be like, okay, this is where I'm at. You probably would be able to do it earlier than that, but it's like, oh, my 3-year-old is screaming. My husband's up there, but she might be in a mood. She gets in a mood where she doesn't want anybody but mommy. Okay, so try and hurry. But it still feels like it's out at 2023 is where we're really able to like fully be in that full space and be solid and secure in it. But that's not that far away, really. you're going to be fine up until then, but it feels like that's when you're really financially independent. Yeah, he can't do anything, like, at all. He moved up to, he's going to PT 3 times a week, and he moved up from a 1-pound weight to doing, like, some kinda lifting to 2-pound weight recently. Like, it's he's, like, 0. It's really bad. Um, so in the coming months, it feels like finances are okay. They're steady, they're okay. I'm not having an issue, Regine. I feel like, it feels like coasting, smooth sailing, but by 2023 is when I feel like I'm independent. Um, I don't know what kind of business you'll be doing. Uh, it feels like something along the lines of being spiritual and but I don't know how that fits in because it doesn't feel like what I do. You'll know. You'll know what it is. It'll come to you. So here's the thing is when you're like it's like me, right? Like I know what I wanna do, I know what I'm doing, but I know that there's more to it, but I don't know how to figure out like or it's like I don't know, I can't see it exactly right now. So I just like throw out there in a manifestation, I wanna help millions of people. And whenever is the right time, um, may the universe place that in my own intuition. May the universe place that as my vision. So I don't worry about finding out what it is. And Sarah Blakely, who is the developer of Spanx, believes in manifestation, and her father taught her about the law of attraction when she was in high school. And she literally was like, I want to invent something that I can sell to millions of people and like wrote it down and just decided like left it at that. And 2 years later, she had this experience with pantyhose where she wanted to wear them, but she had to like cut the legs off in order to wear them underneath. I think it was a pair of white pants or something. So that it was like smooth. So like that's how she came up with Spanx. So it's just the idea of like throwing it out to the universe and the universe will give you the perfect and right knowing of what you need to do. Do I do celebrity readings too for fun? You're welcome, Regine. I read for anybody. Oh, like, do I do readings on celebrities? I kinda tend not to do those, and here's why, because they're people too, like, I don't know, would you want, like, me to, like, pick you and, like, make a video and let other people, like, look into your life and peer into your life? And I don't know, I just feel like that's, like, if somebody wanted to come to me for a reading, I'm happy to do that, but I tend not to do that's, like I feel like you need their permission, right? And doing a reading, it doesn't mean that I don't see things about celebrities or I can tell this because it's a past thing, but like a couple weeks before J-Lo and Ben Affleck, remember they used to be engaged, broke up. I had a dream about them. Like they each called me and were complaining about their relationship. They really loved each other. It just wasn't like working out. And then they broke up. But I would never just like expose that because I think that it's really I don't know, I wouldn't want someone doing that to me, and so regardless of whatever like, their job is in the light, but not like, their personal life shouldn't be. So I think out of respect for what I do and respect just for them as people, that it's not really I don't know, it's also like I won't read even if I do have celebrity spirits come through, like, shortly after they die, I try not to, like even if I get stuff, um, I don't think it's right to share that stuff because they have family members that may be looking for something or searching for something, and that just feels so incredibly invasive. Uh, I don't know. Okay, Golden Butterfly, Mallory, and Marlon. I gotta get through these because my daughter just keeps she's not calming down. Will there be reconciliation between Trent and I? If yes, will it be this month? I don't feel reconciliation, but I do feel like a blip of communication. Do you have headaches? A blip of communication in October and the beginning of November as well. So I don't know, but I don't feel like a full. So maybe we get together and we think it'll work and then quickly realize it's not. But I don't feel like we're back together. And I'm happy to be wrong on this. And I really like for everybody's happiness, I always want you to have what you want, but that's just not what I'm feeling right now. Mallory, Marlon, and Kay, you're up. I'm desperately seeking an affordable apartment. Was told I'd find one soon, wondering what state I should look into. Thinking of Burlington, Vermont. Not sure if I'd find decent work there or not, though. Well, let me ask this. Let me ask if you would find decent work in Burlington. So what I heard was you would, but not exactly what you're looking for. Like it'd be a job to have a job. Um, for some reason, I feel like New Hampshire might be something. Like Nashua. I keep hearing Nashua, New Hampshire. Oh, like and subscribe. More than 6 of you had come through here. Tell your friends about me. Get a private reading. Mallory, if you're here. Cheryl, Maureen, Marlon. You'd find a good job in Nashua. I keep feeling that that's like where would be better. Maybe that's why I'm hearing that. And it may not be that you live directly in Nashua. You might live just right outside it, but I do feel like you'll find a good deal on an apartment as well. You're welcome. It's funny when you asked the question about the celebrities, I felt really sad. Like I felt like really like, my my best friend's son is an actor, and I just think about like I don't, people should know his personal life. It's like if you think about it, celebrities are kind of like glorified salespeople. like, well, like if they're actors, right? Because they have to sell themselves to an agent in order to get like, and not like selling their body sexually, but like the idea of them, like I could make people believe that I am this, right? So they have to sell their product, right? And then they have to go and sell themselves to the casting directors and or the directors, but that they can pretend well enough to be this character to fool the audience for a couple of hours or 30 minutes or whatever it is into like being invested in this experience, right? And then once they've made and like the whole time they're going through it, they're having to like sell this, like they're selling this character and they're selling this thing. And then like, so they're not, there's like, it's just a job of like selling a whole bunch of stuff really. But that's what they are choosing to do. They're not choosing to have their personal life out there. I don't know. Oh, Marlon, there you go. And then Mallory, if you're here, Cheryl and Maureen. Marlon, will I ever buy a house and will I ever get married? Okay, thank you. I feel like you're going to buy the house after you get married, but you'll buy another, like a smaller property, like a condo or a townhome or something before that. So I don't feel like the house is actually going to be your first property to own. I still feel like you're kind of young though. Oh, you were having headaches, really stressed about the situation. Okay, okay. Yeah, I was like, I can't see straight. Sometimes that's just validation too for you that I'm not like just making this up, that it's actually coming from somewhere. Um, Marlon, uh, does are you really young? You're over 30. I am over 30. You still could be young. Um, I just feel like you're really like there's something very young. So I feel like I have enough to buy a property the next 2 years. I feel like marriage comes not that far after that, and then another house purchase. So I feel like you'll own a property before you actually are married. And it feels like my mom owns a condo, right? I mean, not that you would know that, but it's home ownership, but it's a smaller, it's not having the yard and like all of the stuff. It's smaller, like more perfect for what you would need. So that feels like 2 years out. Um, and then it feels like marriage not too far out after that, and then actual purchase of a home in maybe 5 to 6 years, 7 at most. And I feel like maybe even starting a family, still in this first property or pregnancy still in this first property and then moving. And none of this may make sense till later anyway, but you will be married and you will be a homeowner. I actually feel like you're really um, well, it's kind of like a type A personality where it's like I just make sure everything is really kind of taken care of. Um, I'm not screwing around. Like I'm really kind of on my game with all of this. Mallory, Cheryl, and Maureen. Did I miss their questions at all? Mallory, Cheryl, and Maureen. I think was Maureen. Is Maureen Highway 1? No, Cheryl is Highway 138. Highway 138. Where's your question? I remember you typed something up here. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, there's the very beginning. Sorry, my eyes are like all. So I am not a runner. Big surprise. Oh, wait, there it is. My family had the worst time the last 4 years. Look for good for us. Okay. So, but our Saturday workout, it's like 2 minutes of cardio, then a minute of plank, and you do that 8 times. So I decided I would run in my backyard. And I normally will just like run in place or do jumping jacks for cardio in my basement because I mean, we have a bike thing. I don't like it. And it's my husband's bike on one of those stands and I can't stand it. And I don't want any more equipment in my house than just like some weights and stuff. So I was like running around outside and like, wow. Running actually like having to propel yourself forward and just running in place, or you use a whole lot of different muscles. It was funny. Anyway, I basically have a motto of I only run to emergencies like codes. I only run to catch the train if I have to, or to run away from something scary. I don't run for pleasure. Okay. So if you fail me on that one, I don't understand it. So Cheryl, we'll start with yours. Okay. My family's had the worst time for the last almost 4 years. Let me think. Can we just call out that 2020 sucks in a big way for most of us? Though, like, the good end of that is, like, really seeing who people really are, like, holy wake up call when we talk about wake up calls and, like, really starting to see who people are, like, um, where your energy truly aligns with other people and where it's just a gigantic mismatch. That has been such a huge gift for me to see people where I sort of had maybe that's who they are, and to like going, "Oh yeah, that's definitely who they are." Um, Seeing that people like don't really like who claim to have your best interest of heart really don't. Those people have really kind of uh, made a huge coming out, shall we say, this year. Oh, and speaking of coming out, it is National Coming Out Day. So if you came out today, congratulations. And if you aren't ready yet, that's okay too. But I hope that you will find space one day to be yourself fully because it's a gift. And you should have no shame in loving who you love. Um, all right. So 2020 sucks. Now back to your question, Highway 138. Um, so it's a lot of it is like talks about finding balance. I know it sounds like so far away, but 2026 feels like where everything sort of feels like it's like everything is behind us, like the last little trickle of is behind us. And it's like, it doesn't mean that I haven't had any good before that, but it feels like now we can stop holding our breath kind of feeling where like literally now it's like, what's next? Cause like can't get any worse, right? And it feels like by 2026, I don't have that anymore. I don't have that, like, because it's been going so smoothly for a while. Like, I don't have that knee jerk reaction when a phone rings or an email comes in that it's going to be something bad or a text message, whatever. Like, I don't hold my breath when somebody goes to the doctor anymore. Like, I feel like it's okay. So it doesn't mean that it's not good before then, but it feels like I finally can breathe by that time. So know that when good things start happening, that it will come a time where you stop expecting the worst and you just start breathing again, okay? And yes, that feels like a long way out, but when you have a long period, I feel like it might be like one more year of kind of like a crappiness, like into about the middle of next year. And then it starts to kind of go up where I start to have good things happen. And it starts to kind of like the seeds are dropping where it's like things are starting to sprout and grow and be on the good end of it. And by the time 2026 rolls around, and I know it's a really long time out, but it feels like I've stopped holding my breath. I realize I've stopped holding my breath every time. I'm just expecting the worst. Um, it feels like by mid next year, things start really moving in your favor. Is there something going on with your left shin? And also, do you have some GI issues with reflux or burping a lot? Maureen and Mallory, you guys are up. That's what I felt like was a lot of loss. I feel like something there's is someone going through chemo right now? Because it's the feeling, the way I get it is when I've had family members who have had, you have go through the initial part of cancer, right? The cancer, the diagnosis and the chemo and the radiation. And then you have all the doctor's appointments and all the to make sure you're in remission, that it's cleared and all of that. And it feels like that feeling of when you finally get to 2026 is like, I can breathe again because I don't have to worry about every single appointment now. That's what that feeling is to me. It's like it gets better, but it still feels like I have to worry until then. Mallory and Maureen, if you do not ask your questions, I'm going to have to give you your money back because I want to leave. I've been here for an hour and a half. left knee. So I was rubbing from here down. So does it start at your knee and go down your shin? Your dad had chemo. Okay. Did he just finish, or was it just pretty recent that he finished? And then would he have, like, another 5 years or 5.5 years or whatever of, follow-up treatments? Yeah. So I think that's why the 2026 comes in, like, feeling like I can breathe now, I don't have to worry anymore. So, the positive thing about that, I wanna look at that long term wise, what does that mean when I say that, and now you say that about your dad? I'm like, "Oh, is he the one that would fit that?" It means he's gonna be okay. So, it doesn't mean I'm saying, "Don't worry," because that's, like, such an easy thing to say to someone, but maybe hold that thought and that placement of when you find yourself going to that panic and that fear state and your solar plexus starts to get in that gut feeling, like, just say, "Anna made this comment, and maybe she didn't know all of that other stuff, but she said by this time it would be okay, and then she compared it to this, and there's just too much of a coincidence, so I'm gonna just have faith that it's gonna be okay so I can release the stress and release this fear over to my guides, to the universe, God, parent, loving parent, divine being, whatever you wanna call it, so I can relax a little bit and breathe through this." Um, I just feel like he'll be okay. Ooh, weird chills. I feel like it'll be okay. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with that. Maureen or Mallory, are you here? Oh, there you are. Good thing. I just had surgery and I'm worried about my recovery. Uh, is something going on with your intestines? Maureen. And I'll say this because I heard bowel obstruction and I don't know. You're welcome, Highway 138. I lost a plant. I'm gonna have to replace her. She didn't like the not enough sun, I think. I should have repotted her right away and I didn't. But I'm grateful for the time she spent with me. Um, I'm trying to be kind to my plants and have a green thumb. I know I'm a little quirky, but hey, I talk to dead people, so not like I'm gonna be run of the mill, right? You just had a hysterectomy, but that's why I would feel this. Okay, so this is why I'm hearing bowel obstruction. So I want you to be careful with that as being an issue. Um, I because sometimes there can be issues with adhesions and other things. So if at any point at all you have where you're not going to the bathroom as easily, you're having abdominal pain, anything like that, and you can't quite pin it, it doesn't fit, or nausea, loss of appetite, please, please, please do not hesitate to go get seen. Um, Make sure that you are not drinking any like carbonated beverages, things like that. Drink warm fluids if you can, like warm water instead of ice water, um, to help move things along. If you aren't comfortable walking around yet, right? They encourage you to like walk as much as you can. But if you're not quite comfortable doing long distances, like maybe just like walking around your house, try and rock in a rocking chair because that will actually help your bowels. So if you're walking in a rocking chair, drinking warm fluids, those things will help, just to help keep things moving along. But if you're having pain, you're not going to the bathroom, you're not passing gas, or you're feeling nauseated or throwing up, please make sure you go get checked out. Did they actually do an incision? You'll heal from the hysterectomy. I feel like there might be that when they're pulling me towards the bowel issues, just that might be what the issue is. It's not actually your hysterectomy that's the issue. It's like that might be a complication of after the surgery. Okay. Um, did you have like a lateral incision or did they do it vaginally, transvaginally? You are constipated and bound up. Okay. So drinking warm water, get some prune juice, drink prune juice or apricot juice is really good. That will help you move along. Stay away from dairy that can bind you up. Anything that like would normally make you constipated or a little bit constipated or gassy, stay away from, right? You want to drink warm fluids. Warm water is your friend. Rock in a rocking chair. Walk a little bit if you can, because I know it might be hard moving around. That's where I think your issue is. And also, if you're on pain medication, make sure you're taking a stool softener. If your doctor did not prescribe you one, call your doctor, let them know right now, because that is not something you want to be doing when after you've had lower abdominal surgery, is pushing and straining to go to the bathroom. These are things I would have told you if I was a nurse. These are not medications, I'm telling you. So call your doctor, have them prescribe you something if they did not give you a stool softener. If you're still having difficulty going, please call your doctor and don't worry about if it's a weekend or a nighttime or whatever. If they are not available, they have an on-call doctor that is available and they will give you instructions on what you are supposed to do. Okay? But I just feel like you really need to like not ignore if you're really, really constipated. I don't think that the hysterectomy is going to be the issue. It feels like the other stuff, like that's where the real issue is. Maybe that's why they're saying, um, bowel obstruction. I know it doesn't make sense because you're asking about the hysterectomy and I'm getting the bowels, but after surgery that can happen. So, um, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I really do recommend, like, if you're really, really uncomfortable and in pain, call tonight. But if not, call first thing in the morning. And if you're running any fevers or anything like that, call tonight, call an on-call doctor. That's what they're there for. Okay. They get paid for it. Don't worry about annoying anybody. Don't worry about bothering anybody. They went into the field of medicine. They knew that this was going to be what they were taking on. I'm telling you, 1,000 times over, a doctor would be more than happy to have you to go, you're just worrying, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like, I can see you in the morning, then have you come into the emergency room or whatever and go, oh my God, why didn't you come earlier? Because they didn't want to bother anybody. That's why like a lot of women end up having a lot of issues because they don't want to bother anybody, but we want you to bother people. It was done vaginally. Okay, that's why I said transvaginal. So just please stay on top of this, because if that's what's coming up to me, that's what they're highlighting as the issue. Okay, so it's okay to bother them. Always remember that. Mallory, are you here? All right. But I feel like you'll heal okay from the actual surgery itself. It just feels like that complication of like the constipation stuff is going to be what's going to bother you more. So if they didn't give you a prescription for a stool softener and or laxative, please call them and get that. In the meantime, if you can get a hand on some prune juice or apricot juice or apricot nectar, those will help you go. Blueberries can make people go. Prunes, but I'm thinking of just like liquids that'll kind of go through quicker. Warm fluids, Don't drink with a straw. Don't drink carbonated fluids, because you want to have as like little gas down there as possible. Eat foods that are easy to digest, that don't constipate you. Broth or consomme, easily digestible. Don't eat a lot of like fatty fried foods, things like that. All right, and contact your doctor. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. I'll reach out to Mallory and see if she wants to do the question over Instagram or she wants her money back. You guys have a wonderful evening. I hope that you have a great week. 23 days left to the election. If you are not registered, and you can still register to vote. I know in New Jersey, you need to be registered by Wednesday. Wednesday is the last day to register. Register to vote. Have a voting plan. Get out and vote. Exercise your right. We need to change the system of feeling hopeless, that it's all up to the Electoral College. It's not. Get out there and vote. Vote in your local elections. Know who your local people are. It really does matter at a local level who's running your city government, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Have a good night. Have a great week. And happy Thanksgiving to those of you in Canada. KK, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.